Hosanna. How
Jeremy.
how do you think do you think that was a robot voice, or do you think at some point you could have an agent, you could hire an agent who could get you the job of saying the recording in progress? It could be the Hosanna voice.
I would die to do that. I think it was probably like originally a person,
Yeah.
uh, then was like, processed through so many different things that they became a robot.
It's
But
it's like the when they do, I can't remember the lady's name, but they have been using her cells for
oh
cancer
yeah.
research. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be like
Yes, crazy.
100 years from now.
Same
Well,
thing.
how was your week, Hosanna?
It was it was good. It was fine. It's every week is a blur because barely any sleep, but that's normal, so I should
Hmm.
get used to it. It's been good. It's been fine. I was a little stressed out about the song
Okay.
because I don't know if we actually talked on video or not, but last week we said that we could try a song that we've started
Yeah.
that we haven't finished, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. We did not talk about that
That
on
wasn't
video. We did that on
recorded, right?
text. Yeah.
Okay, but
Mhm.
we did I think text
Yeah.
about it. And I knew exactly which song I needed to do, but I feel like I have to defend my case a little bit.
Okay.
So the reason being, the song has been written
Okay.
over a year ago,
Yeah.
and then it has been rewritten, and then it has been completely scrapped.
Hmm.
And then I have finally come back to it and finished it. So it's been written so many times, but I feel like this was the hardest one to tackle
Hmm.
because I've tried so many different things with it. So in
Yeah.
my defense, yes, it
I
was written. Yes, but yes,
yeah.
it was a lot of work. So
I think
that's that.
yeah, I mean, you mentioned this over text that in many ways that, you know, I mean, in many ways that's a harder challenge. Rewriting something is a harder challenge than something that new. And I think that is totally true. I don't know what specific insight you were drawing on, but I was thinking about it, and the fact that you get something stuck in your head about this is the melody, and also this is what the song is about. Like those things are hard to unstitch for me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, same. I couldn't do
yeah,
it. So I sat on this one for I think it's been over a year, well over a year.
well, that's awesome that
Um yeah.
you got something with it. Cool.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's in its final stage. So
Fantastic.
yeah.
Well,
What would you like me to just go ahead
yeah,
and
let's do it. I'd love to
show
hear
you?
it.
Okay. So a little backstory on this. Um, I wrote this song, the original one. I think it was in it's 24, 22, end of 22. So it is actually pretty old. I wrote it when my brother moved to Norway for school.
Yeah. Okay.
And so this is a song about my brothers. Um, but it was one that like I think I had too much intention going into it.
Yeah.
I needed it to be a certain way from the start, and I was packing all these things in,
Hmm.
and the first iteration of it was full band, like it was fully produced, but terribly. Like I was still learning how to
Hmm.
produce. It did not sound good. Um, and it kind of sounded like a 80s like road trip song almost, which is not at all what I normally do. Um, And so I was like, okay, I think this is it. But like something would not let me
Yeah.
live with that. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's not what it needs to be.
Yeah.
And so I ended up scrapping all of the verses. I had to hold on to the chorus.
Uh-huh.
And so then I spent months trying to find a drum beat or make a drum beat that would work for it. Nothing. Literally nothing. I have scoured like things like Splice and like all these samples everywhere to try to find something, and I could not find anything.
Yeah.
So I finally gave up and was like, I don't know what it's gonna be. Like I basically was like, I just recorded the melody vocally, and that's where it was.
Yeah.
So when I approached it this week, that's what I had. But I think mentally I had decided early on that this had to be a pretty much a vocals only song.
Interesting.
Um,
Like a
so
cappella?
basically there I
Oh,
did add
like,
some instruments at the end, but it's harmonies. Just
okay.
I
Yeah.
have here, let me just share.
Okay.
I should instead of just talking at you.
No,
Here.
I'm digging it. I
All
love hearing about your process and your thoughts about all these things.
right. You see that?
Yep.
Okay, so this, I mean, there are 174 tracks.
Whoa,
So
yes.
I did I
Let's
recorded
go.
four of every single part throughout the whole song. So it's a lot. Um,
That's awesome.
and because of that, it's a little messy because I don't have the cleanest signal. Um, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. So,
Do you have like a gas powered MacBook or something? I mean,
so
how is your
okay, all right, let
All
me
right.
just
Awesome.
start and
I love it.
hopefully all the settings are okay because I was messing with it earlier and some of it sounded kind of crazy, but we'll see. All right, here we go. All that I knew when we were young, all that I had when I begun, I wasn't ready, but just about anything that we carry, or that we carried along the way. But I have to say, you made me stay. Next to total despair, there you are with your stupid glare, and you tell me a joke and make off with my pen. Here I am, always running after you, leaving behind my notes that you never let me finish. Maybe I'm being insane, but without you I'd lose every game. And my mind can't imagine a place where you're not there. 'Cause next to total despair, there you are with your stupid glare, and you tell me a joke and make off with my pen. Here I am, always running after you, leaving behind my notes that you never let me finish. I got 1, 2, 3 coming after me. I got 1, 2, 3 coming after me. I got 1, 2, 3 coming after me. I got 1, 2, 3. Sorry about those little
Oh,
little hiccups. So yeah, I need to clean those up. But anyway, there you go.
this kudos, Hosanna. I like this a lot. There's a lot, I should say. I like this a lot, and there's a lot that I like about it. Um, this is so different from how I think about music or approach songwriting. And so it's super fresh to me and just kind of, I just think it's beautiful in a really surprising, not surprising. It's not surprising that you would create a beautiful song. Your songs always surprise me because, I kind of have tunnel vision around like what kind of music, how songs are created. And I just always find delight, I think, in your songs. And this one is like a classic. This is like
Thank
a Hattori classic to me.
you.
I think that last, I was trying to think of the analogy for what I'm thinking that last section. Uh, it's like chocolate fudge brownie ice cream by Ben and Jerry's to me. It's like so decadent that it was awesome. It was awesome. Because if you had said this is going to happen 6 times in the song, it's way too much, right? But to have it at the ending, it was like so great and lush and like just awesome. Um,
Thanks.
yeah, this is really cool. It's the lyrics too. Like I like how it makes me think about what you're trying to say. And obviously, I don't
Mhm.
know the story. I don't know the references in there, but um, it's just really compelling. And I think um, you don't hear a lot of songs that are just vocals for 80% of the song. And I think that's really cool and just inviting. So,
Thank you. I'm still kind of on the fence about those violins, and I think the
mm,
bass I added like kind of last minute
mhm.
yesterday, thinking that I had, no time left.
Yeah.
Um, but I might take them out. I don't know. And then of course I'm gonna have to re I don't know if you could hear some of the click was bleeding through.
Oh,
I'm
I didn't hear that.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm probably still gonna have to clean it up. But like there's, a lot of the
Yeah.
transitions were a little messy and so I have to figure out how to do those. But it was really challenging to try to find that many harmonies that
Oh, I
would
can't
work.
imagine. I can't imagine. It's like
Yeah.
you need a whiteboard with the yarn with the red string going.
Yeah, I felt crazy doing it. I would like sing a very short part once and then try to repeat it again. And I'm like, I can't remember what I just did, you know?
Yeah. This was
Yeah.
very cinematic to me. Uh,
Yeah.
I was just imagining this as like part of an HBO show or something.
That is a dream of mine to score a movie. I would love
Uh-huh.
that. That would be so fun.
Yeah.
But
Super
yeah,
cool.
thank
Super
you.
cool. Again, I know you said you've got some things to tighten up on it, but like this is cool. It's really cool. And I think it should be part of your catalog that you release. That's my opinion. But
Thank you. Jordan said that this should be the last song because how dramatically it ends. And I'm
I
like, you know what? Yeah,
I
maybe.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good instinct.
Mm.
Um, there was, let's see, I had one other thought. Oh, on the bass, I do like the something low in there. So even
Right.
if you replace that with just kind of kind of a sub bass almost or
I
something.
was My other thought was I could do um I could sing it, but then
Oh,
pitch it down like 2 octaves.
well,
And then
if
that would have the same quality.
I wonder if you could use a
Yeah,
vocoder too. Um,
that's true. I've never tried that actually.
yeah, there's
That's
actually it's an okay one in Logic Pro. I
okay.
messed around with. Actually, I was trying that for I think last week's song or the week before,
Oh,
and
cool.
it just
No.
that's not a Jeremy toy yet. So
Fair enough.
that's fine for a Wednesday, but it's not a Saturday tool yet. So
Fair. Well, thank you so much. I'm gonna
yeah,
keep working on this one for sure, just because
yeah.
I have way too much emotional baggage attached to this. So,
I liked it.
yeah, once I think clean it up, I'll actually hopefully put it out there.
Yeah. Well, it gets two Jeremy thumbs up.
Yay!
So it's good.
Okay, tell me about your week.
Okay, so I have a
It's
little,
beautiful.
yeah, it's a little solid body mandolin. It's made by Hondo, and you can see the little uh
Like,
inlay up there, Let's see if I
Is
can.
that off-brand like Honda? They're making guitars
I
and
don't
man,
think so. It's
Hondo.
mandolin. And
Wow. It's
yeah, and it's a solid body.
mhm,
So I bought it because, back in the day, my church at the time was playing at the Gothic Theater, and I was concerned about, I wanted to learn mandolin and I wanted to use it for a couple specific songs,
mhm.
but I was concerned about miking it for feedback. I thought that was going to be a problem. So I saw this guy and bought it, and it's sort of a rock and roll mandolin. So I've just had it. Yeah. And I don't really play mandolin. I know all of three chords, literally three chords that I learned for those two songs that I did for my church. But I've had this kind of little riff that every once in a while I'll just pick up, between meetings at work or whatever. And I always kind of thought, well, I should write a song around that. So that's what I did this week. I started with that and I said, that's my constraint. And I had I had two interesting experiences. One was when I finally landed on a melody that I thought, like, yeah, I really like this, that was in the tonic in G.
Mhm.
When it went up to the four, I was like, wow, this is much higher than I
Yeah.
thought. But I liked it, right? So I was like, well, yeah, I'm just gonna go for it and do
Yes.
it. So I thought, yep. So up to this week, and then this morning I was gonna finish vocals, and I woke up sounding like
Oh no.
I just, So I was like, okay, we're
Yeah.
gonna muscle through. And I tried, and I was like, this is not happening. So I ended up doing some quick Googleizing about how to transpose audio in Logic Pro. So
It's awesome.
so I don't think I'll ever play this song live on
Right.
mandolin because I don't have like, you know. Um,
Never
but it
say
was,
never.
yeah, that's true. Actually, if my voice is back healthy, I could just play it in the original key. And
Absolutely.
um, the other thing about this song is um, it I sort of latched onto kind of a collection of thoughts relatively early in the lyric writing process. And I don't know that I was terribly satisfied with it, but I kind of just let it take me where it was
Hmm.
going to go. So it feels to me like I've heard all my songs, right? And I know how many times I repeat ideas and stuff like that. So to me, it sounded like, oh, this is well-worn ground. And like, I've kind of processed through a lot of this stuff emotionally and like, so the song, I don't want to spoil it. I mean, it'll be intuitive, I think, when you see the lyrics, but the song is more or less about like getting older and feeling like your potential and your all the good things in your life from your 20s, they're gone, right? So in your 20s, you think you're going to go do this and whatever. And then you wake up at some point and realize like, oh, I have a job and I
Yeah.
am very ordinary,
Mm.
right? So kind of thinking through all those things and then realizing like and I don't want to turn this into an ad for CrossFit or anything, but when I started CrossFit 2 years ago, it kind of awakened something in me that I realized like, oh, I'm not it doesn't have to, my life doesn't have to be just like ride this out to the end. That there's still a lot left that I not even that I could do, but that I can be and feel and create and experience and grow, right? And so that's kind of the thoughts
Yeah.
encased. And then through that process, I just kind of had fun with some imagery, and I tried not to judge it too hard, even though at the end result, I'm like, it's fine. I mean, it's but in terms of the process of writing a song, um, you know, they're not all going to be home runs, and
Right. Okay.
I feel comfortable with that. So
I mean, the topic, I feel
yeah.
like the theme there is, I mean, that's super, super, super relatable to me. And
Hmm.
I've actually tried writing songs about that
Hmm.
and have failed. So I'm very curious how it's gonna turn out because I mean,
Yeah.
it's already something that I'll be like, yes, I relate. Oh, yeah.
um,
I
the
wait.
the one other caveat I'll give you is, and listening back, I realized it became more this way as I recorded more vocals. I've been listening to this guy named Steven Wilson Jr. lately.
Mhm. I
and is
haven't heard.
very country,
Okay.
very
Okay.
country. So uh, I think
Let's do it.
I channeled a bunch of him in here. So all right. So because I struggle with technology, here are the lyrics, and I'll just play it from here. Living in my skin these days feels like a game of hurry up and wait. It seems like I'm headed nowhere soon. And the world gets younger every day. Think I've got too much to say, and I wonder if I'm just howling at the moon. Well, it's a lonely place to be, to find yourself becoming obsolete, just pining for the days of glory past. Was all of my potential spent on fitting in and paying rent and watching all my best years racing past? There's no comfort to be found in knowing I'm just hanging round and drifting towards the twilight at the end. Well, it's a long, hard road where we're going. It's a long, hard road where we're going. Digging in and breaking ground gets harder as the years wind down, but the fruit is sweeter for the toil. And you got years left to produce, to conjure up a tender shoot from what you thought was your depleted soil. So settle in and steel your nerve, find a hope that's unreserved, and put your back hard into the plow. Youth and zeal may win the sprint, but wisdom gets us to the end, and you've spent 40 years learning how. So come to life and wake yourself, take control and give them hell. Become the fiercest version of yourself. Well, it's a long, hard road where we're going. Oh, well, it's a long, hard road where we're going. Well, it's a long, hard road where we're going. Oh, yeah, it's a long, hard road where we're going.
That was lovely.
Thank you.
Lovely. And again, I'm not a fan of country music. I've just never grown up around it.
Mhm.
Just was never exposed to it, and so I don't know any of the history.
Yeah.
But this feels to me like, hmm, one of my favorite artists ever of all time is Glenn Hansard.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you
Yeah.
listen to.
Yep. Yep.
There's, it's that same vein of like it's basically like folk music.
Yeah.
It
It's probably more folk than country. Yeah.
right. It's I don't know. I can't explain it well because I don't know the history, but it's every single line is packed with so much
Mm.
life and so much meaning that like I could listen to that and read these words over and over and over and over
Mm,
again and get something so different out of it. Those are some of my like favorites. Those lines
mm.
like stick with you like forever. You know, there
Yeah.
are still days that like some of Glenn Hansard's songs I just like
Yeah.
start like saying stuff that I would never say because he's some guy from Ireland, you know? I don't
Hmm.
know, but yeah, it's incredible. And I feel like the way that you word these things and the rhymes
Mm.
are so good. They're so you don't draw like you pack a lot of meaning and story into a relatively short sentence,
Mm.
but like they like the especially the way that you wrote it in two lines in each section, right?
Yeah.
It's like the first one is like, wow, super, super, super relatable. And the second one is the lesson.
Mm.
It's like hits, like it's like a punch. And I love that format.
Mm.
I think that's really cool. And I think it clearly comes naturally to you to write like this. I really dig it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think thank you very much. I think the refrain, I guess, hesitate to call it a hook or whatever. Because I realized at a certain point, like I don't know any more chords. And I've used all three chords, like so I was like, I don't know what to really do for a chorus here. Um, so I think I'm kind of bracketing the refrain there to think like I kind of want something else there, but I also
Hmm.
it felt like I didn't like that feels really trite and just like kind of these are throwaway words to me, the a
Same.
long hard road. But um I also just was like, yeah, this feels like something I might spend months like reading and kind of processing. And so I was like,
Mm.
yeah, just finish it. Just finish it. And all these songs are wet clay anyways, right? So we can
Right.
um but it's
It's funny.
cool. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. It's funny that you feel like that part is trite because I actually think it is
Oh, this
what's yeah,
this
that
part here.
yeah, because I
Hmm.
love it. I think that
Interesting.
it
Okay.
says exactly what it needs to say. And it's very, very singable. Like I could
Mm,
like imagine like a, an
yeah.
arena of people singing along just that. And it's because it's also a memorable like hook
Yeah.
melody.
I
Yeah,
did
I think
like the melody and it was fun to sing, like just the it's fun to kind of take your voice up. And
yeah.
actually I would like in the original key, I think it would be fun if on a day where I have all my vocal capacity. I like songs that I don't like songs that live up there, you know what I mean? But I like songs that have those places where you get to,
Same.
stretch your legs as a vocalist and get
Yes.
after it.
So
So
cool.
it could be fun. Yeah, and
Love
it's cool. I mean, all this came from just picking up the mandolin and horsing around and um that little do 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 do.
I actually love the sound of it too.
Oh,
The
cool.
mandolin. Sounds really nice.
It's really interesting because I have spent so much time working with acoustic guitar and learn, I mic it with two mics and then I double the parts typically and things like that. So anytime I pick up a different instrument, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. And it's
Yeah.
fun, right? It's at this point fun.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it was cool. It was neat to dig around. So
I love it. Always. I mean, I think what's cool about sharing songs that are freshly written,
hmm.
um, is like we're both individually coming from a place of like we have thought about this and
Yeah.
dealt with these emotions and thought about these words and worked with it for so long. Even if it's a day, even if you
Yeah.
write it in a day, it's
Hmm.
like you're still spending hours
Yeah.
with this concept, and you really just lose the the ability to objectively think like
Uh,
what is like a first time listener gonna hear,
Yep.
and it's really cool because it's totally not what you would expect.
Yeah. I
I
agree
like,
with that. I think that's a great observation. And like, I don't remember which week it was. A couple weeks ago, I remember, feeling a certain way about the song. And then when I listened to it right before, it was like 24 hours,
hmm
right before we got on Zoom. And I realized like, oh, I don't
hmm
hate this song. I hated
yeah,
it 24 hours ago, but like, oh, I don't hate this song now. So I do think, exactly what you said, like a little bit of, it's nice to have another person who is objective about it,
yeah,
and doesn't have
yeah,
all the baggage along with it. So yeah,
yeah. It's very cool.
good
Very
stuff.
cool.
All right.
All right.
Onward
Next,
to another week.
that's next week. Do you have any inklings about what you'll be doing?
Well, I was thinking about writing a song that would become the new theme song for an NFL team. No,
Oh,
I'm kidding.
yes. I'm not gonna let that go. You have to write one.
The I'm trying to think of who would be the worst, or who would be the least interesting, like the Arizona Cardinals or something. I don't know. I don't know. That's that's the challenge.
That's
I'll
a fun challenge.
write a song that rhymes the word cardinal, rhymes with marginal. Maybe that's not what
There it is.
No, I don't. I really don't have a thought. So I think actually your song really inspired me.
Mm,
Um, I have a couple songs that I feel really good about, kind of the bait, the bones and the melody, but the concept, the
mm,
concept or the and actually the kind of overall theme of the song I really like, but the lyrics and kind of
mm.
where I was taking it are it's not even me anymore.
Wow, yeah.
So I either need to go put myself in another person's shoes to write that song, or I need to change how I get to. So I don't know. It would be pretty ambitious for this week, but I kind of feel like that might be a good challenge. So,
Great.
and it's also not a guitar song. So
Ooh, even better.
yeah.
Really push yourself.
Yeah, I might dig into that. So,
That's fantastic.
and it's something kind of like you talked about that I've been working on for like 2 years.
Oh, wow.
So
Yes.
this might be the week.
Yes, it's gonna be good.
How
I
about you?
think this week I actually doing these sessions every week has made me like spot the things that I lean on, the
Mm,
topics or the words
yeah.
or imagery that I tend to pull from. I'm gonna try to break away from that a little bit, and I'm gonna try to be brutally honest this week.
Yeah.
I don't feel like
Hmm.
writing a song, to be honest.
Hmm.
I'm just tired.
Yeah.
And
We've been going hard. I
yeah,
mean, 5 weeks is a
yeah,
lot.
it is. But I want it to be just like I want to say or sing something that I would never actually say out loud to
Mhm.
someone. So we'll see. We'll see
Yeah.
how that goes.
I love it.
I might also change my mind.
You're entitled to do that. So
Well,
we don't have any sponsors for this endeavor,
that's
so we can do
true.
whatever we want.
But hey, if you want to sponsor us,
Yeah.
what do
Arizona
I
Cardinals.
all right, call us.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I'll see you next week, Jeremy.
Good job, Hosanna.